Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Jason Lucchese, and welcome to the YouTube channel. I am so excited that you are here with us today. I've got some very exciting news for you now. As you guys saw from the thumbnail and the picture that we had created, this is not going to be like a political video or anything like that. So let's just get that out of the way so that you feel 100% comfortable and confident being here, because that's one of the things I don't want to do with the YouTube channel is make it all political and we're only siding with one party or anything like that. I do not want to do that. So just be rest assured that this video is going to be strictly about things that we are seeing that could potentially happen, and you need to get yourself prepared. Now, on our last video that we did, I just want a quick reminder here. We did an amazing video. You guys definitely gave us some great feedback, some thumbs up, some comments, and we hit our goal of 50 thumbs up and 50 comments. So with that being said, we've got a special download that we're going to be sharing with you on this video. And the link is going to be available. If you go ahead and check below, it's going to be in the pinned comment section. If you don't see that, go ahead, drop a comment, say, hey, can you please shoot me the link? I'll be more than happy to shoot that to you. And what we're giving away in that document is the exact scripts that Mike was using for his Driving for Dollars Day. And we were there. We had a great day. We got lots of phone calls. We were able to interact with some folks. So you're going to know exactly what that was. You're going to also see what we do on our Post-it notes on the door tagging. That is huge. That's what gets you like some really amazing response rates. So if you haven't already checked that video out, we're going to have it available here at the end. I'll also put it up in the pinned comment section below. So thank you again for doing all that. If you're not a subscriber to the channel, make sure that you are a subscriber so you don't miss out on valuable information just like that. So let's hop into today's video. So we're going to be talking about Trump and Biden as our president. As of right now, everybody's saying certain things like we've got Biden in, we've got Trump still fighting to be president. Let's go ahead and not talk about that stuff on today's video, okay? What we're going to be talking about is what's going to happen if we either have Trump as president in 2021 or Biden as president in 2021, because it will shape a lot of things that we're seeing here in the future. So some of the things that we could see is if Biden does truly win this election, and if he does, it's great. I'm not going to say anything about it. I'm not going to talk about it on the channel. And you know what? If he truly did win, it was a fair voting process and there's no type of fraud or anything, great. He's our president. And I, as an individual, as an American, yes, I see him as my president. So let's talk about that here for a second. If Biden truly is our president, what he's already stated is that for the first 100 days of his presidency, we're more than likely going to go into another lockdown. Now, what does that mean for us as Americans? What this means is a lot of the individuals that are just holding on by a thread, more than likely those individuals are going to lose their businesses. A lot of these small business owners, as of right now, they're not getting the relief that they need. There's talks of COVID stimulus again, but it's going to be like half of what it was before when we were all getting the $1,200 checks, and we were also getting additional funds on top of that if you qualified. Now, right now, they're talking about $600, and that's kind of a slap in the face, in my opinion, when other countries are providing more. Some of the individuals that really need it, that are struggling to put food on the table, they need that. And if we have another lockdown for over 3 months, that's going to be devastating to a lot of families. That's going to cause more evictions that are going to be needed to be filed. We're having more people that can't pay their mortgages than ever before. Lockdowns, in my opinion, and you could be completely different on this, and that's fine. That's why we're human beings. We all have different opinions. I don't believe lockdowns are going to solve those problems where people need to get back to work. They need to be paying bills. They need to be paying their mortgages so that they could keep their house, because the foreclosure rates as of right now are extremely high. Like I said in videos that we've done in the past, foreclosure rates have never seen this before, ever. Even in 2008, we had foreclosure numbers that were at all-time high. We're seeing that these are 2 times the amount from 2008. So we're seeing numbers that have never been seen before, and the numbers are going to continue to increase. So I see that happening regardless if Biden or Trump is in as our president of the United States. I could see a lot of different things panning out with either one of them going in there. But right now, I just wanted to focus on Biden. If he is truly our president, those first 100 days are going to be critical for Americans. I see a lot of small business closures happening, especially like in states like Michigan, New York, California. A lot of these states are going to be losing a lot of small business owners. Some might even be moving out of the state so that they can go to a state to where they could start over. We're seeing that happen a lot with individuals that are from California moving to Arizona. Now, some of the opportunities that are going to happen for real estate investors, and we've talked about this on other videos, is individuals right now, especially landlords, that are fighting to get individuals to pay. We're talking about tenants not paying their landlord, and that's causing a gigantic ripple effect. We're seeing eviction moratoriums in place to where it's allowing the tenants to stay there rent-free. Now, some folks that might know what to do for, negotiating and talking with tenants is going in there and actually having those conversations. But for folks that aren't going in there and talking to these folks, they're just letting this drag out. Now, what this is doing from our conversations that we've been having with landlords is that they have a mortgage on it. And if they're not receiving that income from the tenant, they're not able to pay their mortgages. So we're seeing right now an increase in foreclosure rates on rental properties at unheard of rates. Again, this is compared to 2008 numbers. They were extremely devastating to a lot of Americans. And we're seeing those numbers increase, especially in income producing properties. Now, on the flip side, we're seeing a lot of homeowners, and these are individuals that have lost their job. They might have had a business and they had to close the business. We're seeing a lot of individuals go to other states and leave their properties behind and just say, you know what, go ahead, take it. Now, that's causing a major problem too for banks right now because those properties are just sitting vacant, absent, and that could cause problems. Now, that could also cause an opportunity for you to go ahead and reach out to these individuals to maybe give them some closure. Or if the mortgage company decides to go after them from a tax standpoint, saying, hey, you still owe us this amount of money from a tax standpoint, that could be something that follows them around, the property owner, from property to property. And if those individuals decide that they end up going back and they end up getting a job, next thing you know that they're having wage garnishing. That's going to pose a big problem because if people are having a struggle right now with paying bills, they're going to have an even larger struggle, especially if they have those types of wage garnishing happening. So those are some of the things I'm seeing within the first 100 days, especially if Biden's president. He's already talked about the lockdowns. I don't believe in the lockdowns. I think it would cause more harm than good. And right now, especially with the COVID stuff, and you might disagree with me on this, but we all see the cases are increasing, but the mortality rate is actually been stable. So I don't think a lockdown would help. I think COVID is a real thing. I'm not one of these individuals that says COVID's not real. I do believe it is real. But to the extent of some folks that believe it to be something bigger than it is, I don't believe that. So, and that's my opinion with this predicament that we're in. We're going to see lots of pre-foreclosure opportunities. These folks are going to need somebody to step in and buy their property. That individual can be you. And we're already starting to see these notice of defaults that are happening within the county recorder's office. You could go get this information. It's very easily to go and grab that information. If you want to go to a website like fastpeoplesearch.com to grab the contact information, you can, because a lot of these people are moving. They're just leaving their properties, and banks don't want to have just vacant properties sitting around. So I want to just let you know right now, we buy those types of properties, and most of the time, just be prepared for this from a wholesaling standpoint. There could be mold issues. There could be some sort of fire damages. There could be when people are leaving the house, they could be doing drywall damage. So you just need to be prepared ahead of time that, the grass is going to be high. So there could be code violations. As you saw in our Driving for Dollars video the other week, we talked about this. We were going and checking out code violation properties where we talk to the neighbors, and you could try and get information from the neighbors as well for how to get the information to contact that property owner who left. So that's going to be critical for you right there. being able to get the contact information. So we're talking pre-foreclosures, code violations, and eviction notices. So you could contact the property owners who are filing those eviction notices to see if they might be interested in wanting to sell. So this is going to happen. So one way or another, we're going to have either Biden in or Trump in. That's going to happen, right? So with Trump in, I see some of the same things happening. He's not going to do the lockdowns, but what I do see happening is once that moratorium on the eviction is completely done, we're going to start seeing like a big shift in individuals that need to file those evictions and need to get those tenants out of the property as quickly as possible. So I see with the Trump administration that we could probably start seeing it being expedited a little bit faster just because we're not doing the lockdowns. He could be an individual that extends the moratorium as well. So that could be something as well that we see from that administration. And we could also see that from the Biden administration as well. And, the thing with Trump is he knows that we're in a financial crisis right now. He's an individual that's trying to uplift, trying to, get the unemployment rates as low as possible. But for some of these states, they're shutting down, and businesses are closing up at a rapid pace. We're seeing vacant properties at extreme highs. And that's not going to be something that helps, because what we're seeing is that a lot of landlords are just letting those properties go empty because they don't want to deal with, tenants coming in and trashing up their properties. So one of the things that I could see is, with the Trump administration going into 2021, a lot of the things that we talked about, like in some of our previous videos on market collapses and all that type of stuff, we'll see those pre-foreclosures start to take shape immediately, more than likely within Q1. So January, February, you're going to probably see those happen if Trump stays and remains as president. At this point, I don't know. I don't have an answer to that. As of right now, they're saying President-elect Biden is that individual. So we could see Biden be that president. So like I was saying, with the 100 days of the lockdown, I could see the eviction moratorium being extended. I'm not 100% sure if we're going to get any more COVID relief. I know there's talks right now, which could happen before the end of this year, which is rapidly, we're losing time on this year. We should have had probably at most another COVID relief program for Americans. But with that being said, I could see a lot of different things taking shape, and I'm not a fortune teller. I don't have a crystal ball or anything like that. The main things that I'm seeing is that one of the things with Biden is we'll probably see a delay in a lot of the evictions, a lot of the foreclosures from the banks actually taking shape, just because we're seeing a lot of that stuff being on pause right now, on halt. But I will tell you this, the foreclosures are being filed. The mortgage foreclosure judgments are being filed. And what that's doing is it's putting the banks in a spot to where they're showing, hey, we filed this. This is something, as soon as this moratorium, as soon as we have the green light, we're going to file it. And your property is going to be lost at foreclosure auction. So those things are going to happen a lot. So pre-foreclosure is going to be a huge opportunity. Banks are going to want to recoup their money as quickly as possible, especially if they haven't received anything since the whole COVID thing hit back in mid-March. And we could see it happen at a rapid pace, either with it being Trump or Biden. We could see that happen. Now, again, like I was saying, the 100-day lockdown, if that truly does happen, that's going to put a great pause on a lot of things. Do I think he's going to do that? Especially with everything happening right now, improvements in individuals not passing from COVID at the rate that it initially was, and the vaccines that everybody's starting, those are starting to take shape. So I see a lot of improvements happening, especially with everything right now during the pandemic. So he may or may not do the 100 days. So it could just be something like, it doesn't matter if it's Trump or Biden in at president for those first 90 days, especially those first 90 to 100 days. We may not even have a lockdown, but you're going to start seeing those evictions happening to where, those landlords want to get those individuals out as quickly as possible. We've got the pre-foreclosures. So you've got landlord opportunities right now for contacting them to see if there's anything you could do to provide help. You've got individuals in pre-foreclosure stage. That's going to be a spot to where you might be able to go in there and negotiate short sale. Or if those individuals have equity in the property, you could do that as well. We're seeing folks right now in tax delinquency as well. Those individuals The auctions have not been halted. They're still right around the corner. These folks are at the cusp of losing their property just over a tax lien. So that's going to provide an opportunity. Reach out and see if you could do something with them as well. They might have tons of equity in those properties. We're finding those individuals all over the place, especially with our propertyleads.com software that we've been using. It's been extremely helpful. Let's just say that. So eviction notices, pre-foreclosures, properties that end up going to the bank auction, I'd be 100% prepared for going to the auctions. Even if you don't have the capital yourself, you could see who's buying, build your buyers list that way. But right now, I'm just giving you a heads up. Start finding individuals that don't want to go to the auctions, but they have the capital. Like, you could find hard money lenders. You could find individuals that might be private money lenders for you. You go and you could start bidding on those properties at the auction. I definitely see that being an avenue for individuals to go and get properties at, because right now, and we're seeing banks right now in a vulnerable spot. They're going to need to make some really tough decisions here, especially with moving forward on properties that they need to foreclose upon. So they're going to go to the auction and they're going to want to try and get those properties sold as quickly as possible. They're not going to try and buy them back at the auctions like they have over the past few years. So that is it for this video. I just wanted to give you like a perspective on what we're seeing, what we're thinking, what we're pivoting for, because I definitely see that the reset that we've all been talking about now for the past couple of years is starting to take shape. So you could either be on the right side of the fence to where you know exactly what's going to happen. We're going to be having another video come out here and talking about different foreclosure ratios in each state. We've got some really great data. And with all the things that I'm sharing with you, it's all facts. And this isn't, jasonsfacts.com or anything like that. I'm sharing things with you that I've seen, I've heard from these individuals out of their own mouths. I've read it on credible websites. And if you want to go and do your own due diligence as well, I would strongly recommend that you do that. Some of the videos that we're going to be having come out here very soon are going to have factual information provided with links. And we always do that on our videos. We want to make sure that we're providing you with accurate data so that you can go and do your due diligence with it. So you're not just believing everything that we're feeding to you, which is the smart thing to do, right? And the link for the Driving for Dollars scripting that we have for you, make sure you drop a comment below if you would like the link just automatically sent to you, or you could just go below, click the link, and you could download that immediately for yourself. Other than that, if you enjoyed this video, we didn't want to make a super controversial video of us, choosing sides, either Biden or Trump. Nothing like that here on this channel. And we wanted to make a video that we felt right now is important, that you must know these things, especially going into 2021. You might be putting together your goal sheets like we have, New Year's resolutions, all that type of stuff. You need to know this stuff, especially if you want to pivot correctly in 2021. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure you give us a big thumbs up. Make sure you hit that subscribe button below and drop a comment below about your thoughts of what's going to happen in 2021. I know I'm not going to put anything on you. I know none of us have a crystal ball. We don't know for sure or certainty what's going to happen, but I would love to hear from you. We always love connecting with individuals that come and watch our videos and are subscribers to the channel. We appreciate you more than you know. Appreciate you. Have a great day, my friend. I will talk to you later. Take care. Bye now.